Welcome to the deep dive.
Hmm.
Sometimes the most fascinating market insights, they're not always in the big tech headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight
Yeah,
in really everyday items.
absolutely.
And today, we're doing a deep dive into something, well, most of us have probably used, the global can coolers market.
Right. Seems simple on the surface.
Exactly. But it actually reveals some complex economic trends, some really surprising regional dynamics, paints quite a picture of consumer behavior.
And we should probably say this isn't just guesswork.
No.
Our analysis, it's grounded in official figures.
Right.
Comes straight from cognitive market research.
Solid data.
Solid data. So our mission for you today is really to cut through those raw numbers, the information overload,
Yeah.
and distill what they actually mean for understanding how people are spending their time, their money across the globe. We want to get to those actionable takeaways, the surprising bits.
Okay, so let's set the stage then. What are we looking at overall? Get ready for a market with some significant growth.
Yeah. Significant is right.
We're talking what? Just over $450 million globally in 2021?
That's the figure.
And it's projected to almost double, over $846 million by 2033.
Which is huge.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty robust 5.4% compound annual growth rate. So growing by that much on average year after year.
Steady growth.
Very steady. And while, one region definitely holds the top spot for revenue,
Mm-hmm.
the data also shows a real outlier, a region with absolutely, explosive potential. Might make you rethink this whole market.
Definitely one to watch.
Let's dive in then. Where do we start? North America.
Makes sense. They're leading the charge, revenue-wise, no question.
Okay, so North America.
Mm.
In 2021, their market was valued at over $191 million.
Right.
And projected to climb to nearly $343 million by 2033. That's growing at roughly 5% annually.
Pretty strong base. And within that, the U.S. is obviously the giant.
Yeah, it takes a lion's share. Over $155 million in 2021, heading towards more than $269 million by 2033.
But here's where it gets interesting within North America. While the U.S. is the largest, Canada and Mexico, they're actually outpacing it in terms of growth rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Canada's projected at nearly 5.8% annually. Mexico even stronger, just over 6%.
Wow. So what does that tell us? Is that a sign of maybe a shift?
Could be. Perhaps it's tied to changing leisure habits, more people grabbing individual coolers, maybe for urban picnics or local trips instead of the big old traditional ones.
That's a great point. It's not just the size, it's the speed of change in those areas.
Exactly.
The velocity.
Okay, so from North America, let's pivot Europe.
Right. Europe. Their market generated just over $80 million back in 2021.
Okay.
Projections. Nearly $143 million by 2033. So also hovering around that 5% annual growth mark.
And the key players there, UK, Germany, France, the usual suspects.
Yeah, those are big contributors. And the UK shows pretty strong growth within that, nearly 5.8% annually.
Okay.
And this is a bit of a curveball from the data, the rest of Europe category, the smaller economies grouped together.
It's actually outpacing every major individual country in the region. Projected growth over 6.4% annually.
Get out. Really, that's fascinating.
It really is. It suggests maybe a broader cultural thing, like convenience, cool drinks. It's spreading beyond just the core markets.
So not just the big economies, but maybe smaller ones embracing more outdoor stuff, or maybe domestic tourism is up.
Could be. Leading to wider adoption of canned coolers as just, an everyday item. It hints at a subtle shift. A socioeconomic one.
Interesting. Okay, from Europe's varied picture, let's go to Asia Pacific. Huge region, very diverse.
Immense, yeah. Their market was nearly $110 million in 2021.
Right.
Projected to almost double again, over $201 million by 2033. Average annual growth around 5.2%. Pretty consistent.
And China dominates here, I assume.
China's the powerhouse, yes.
Yeah.
No surprise there. But India, showing remarkable growth. Over 6.2% annually.
India, okay. That's strong.
Very strong. And Taiwan is also a notable standout, growing at over 6.1%.
So India and Taiwan, what's driving that?
Well, with India, it's not just a huge population. You've got this rapidly expanding youth demographic, a growing middle class.
Adopting new habits.
Exactly. More contemporary leisure habits. There's clearly a strong underlying demand for convenience products like can coolers, probably tied to more disposable income, more outdoor recreation, social gatherings.
Makes sense. And Taiwan's similar growth reinforces that pattern then, evolving lifestyles across the region.
Seems to fit, yeah.
Okay. How about South America?
South America, smaller market overall. About $22 million in 2021, expected to reach nearly $38.4 million by 2033.
Okay. And Brazil leads there.
Brazil's the biggest player, yeah.
Hmm.
But the sources note pretty consistent growth across other countries too, like Colombia, Peru, Chile.
So more steady growth there.
Yeah, seems like a steady trajectory, maybe reflecting that gradual increase in disposable income, a growing appreciation for these kinds of convenient items as economies mature. It's more consistent expansion, less explosive.
Right. Steady integration into daily life. Got it. Okay, next up, the Middle East.
Middle East. Set to climb from around $19.3 million in 2021 to over $39 million by 2033.
And the growth rate.
Pretty healthy, approaching 6% annually for the region.
Okay,
Any standouts?
definitely. Saudi Arabia is a key player, growing at over 6.2%, and Qatar also showing strong momentum, over 6.1% annual growth.
Oh, so again, like we saw in North America and Asia Pac, specific countries outpacing the regional average.
Exactly. And here, the high temperatures are an obvious factor, right?
Sure.
But this strong demand, it's likely also linked to increasing urbanization, modern leisure activities, and importantly, substantial disposable incomes. People want convenient ways to keep drinks cool.
So it points to a rapidly modernizing consumer base.
I think so.
All right. Now, the one we teased earlier, the real head turner, Africa.
Ah, yes. Africa. This is where the numbers get really interesting.
Highest regional growth rate globally.
By far. An astonishing 9.1% average annual growth.
Wow. 9.1%.
Yeah, it's projected to jump from just under $27.5 million in 2021.
Okay, relatively small base. Relatively small, yes. But jumping to a remarkable $82.1 million by 2033.
That's nearly triple.
Pretty much. And Nigeria and South Africa are really leading that surge, both experiencing impressive growth.
So what on earth is driving that kind of demand for keeping drinks cool, specifically?
Well, this kind of exponential growth, it's not just a blip, it suggests some really profound shifts.
Like what?
When you look at Nigeria, South Africa, it looks like a powerful combination of factors. You've got a rapidly growing youth demographic, entering the consumer market,
Yep.
accelerated urbanization leading to more modern retail, more modern leisure activities, and critically, rising disposable incomes.
Right.
That allows spending on convenience goods.
So the can cooler is almost like an indicator species for broader economic change.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. This strong demand for something as simple as a can cooler is
Yeah.
a powerful indicator of emerging markets for a whole range of consumer goods. It's a story of economic evolution happening right now.
Fascinating stuff.
So maybe let's just summarize the core findings then.
Good idea. Let's pull it together.
Okay, so we've seen this remarkably steady global market growth for can coolers. Started around $450 million in 2021.
Just over, yeah.
Projected to nearly double, like you said, to over $846 million by 2033. That reflects that solid 5.4% average annual growth.
Right. North America holds the top spot for revenue.
Still the leader there. But what's really compelling, I think, are those regions showing the highest growth rates. Africa, way out front, that exceptional 9.1%.
Astonishing.
And then strong momentum in parts of Asia-Pacific, the Middle East. And it's also worth remembering those specific countries, right? India, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Mexico, and that surprising rest of Europe.
All growing faster than their regional averages.
Significantly outpacing them, yeah.
So what does this all mean for you listening? I mean, these numbers aren't just stats on a page, are they?
Not at all.
They're really reflections of how consumer preferences are evolving, how leisure time is changing, how economies are developing all over the world. It just shows how a product that seems so simple, so everyday, like a can cooler, can actually be this fascinating window into global economic shifts, the rise of emerging markets.
It's true.
We probably all got one stashed away somewhere, right? Maybe from a concert or a beach trip. Who knew it held so much economic insight?
Yeah.
Understanding these kinds of niche markets, it can offer a real competitive edge. Or maybe just a unique, surprising perspective if you're curious about how the world is changing. Imagine the sheer number of, backyard barbecues, beach days, park hangouts, even just daily commutes these numbers represent.
That's a lot of cooled beverages.
It really is.
Okay, so maybe just a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
Given that remarkable leap in Africa, from under $27.5 million to over $82 million projected by 2033, what might that signify for other consumer goods industries?
Interesting question.
If the demand for keeping drinks cool is surging like that, What else might we expect to see rapid growth in across this really dynamic continent as consumers keep gaining disposable income, keep embracing more modern lifestyles? Something to think about.